I'll text you
Hey,
questions.
good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success, episode number 77. Jamming some motivational tunes here in the office, Studio 11. Great to see everybody this morning. How are you doing this morning, Matt?
Mike, all is
Man, I
well,
love that
buddy.
song.
Perfecto, my friend. Good day to be alive, buddy. Love this show. Can't wait till business and entrepreneurship. Probably one of my favorite shows. I mean, it's hard to say which one's your favorite when all five are centered around the most important areas of our life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
they all work
just
together.
how. Hey, happy anniversary to you and Carol, my friend. 21, big 21.
That's right. If my marriage were a person, it could drink today. And it might.
It could drink today, huh? So, congratulations, 21 years, my friend.
That's right. That's right. And to celebrate, we did not get any snow, Aaron. We are actually like 5 miles south of the snow line. If you drive 15 minutes north of me, there's can be up to a foot of snow. And we didn't get one flake of snow here.
Not one.
Jesus loves me.
Well, we got a rainy day the next 2 days, but I'm okay with it, my friend. It's all about perspective. Raining on the outside, but sun shining on the inside. You know how it is. So it's all good, man.
It is all good. It is all good.
All
I love
good.
Thursdays.
That's what I teach my son to say. Caleb, just keep saying it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. No matter what's going on, it's all good. You know?
It
It's
is all
all
good.
good.
Hey, as you know, every Thursday we're going to talk about business development, entrepreneurship, but I do have a couple of things I need to take care of first.
Go ahead and do that
Facebook
while I grab
page,
my bottle of water. Rocket.
right on. Facebook page right down there. Go clicky clicky like it if you like us, and that would be awesome. Brand spanky new Facebook page. The paint is still wet, so go like it, and you should do that right now because I put a song on there yesterday, a YouTube link to a song that's like this motivational awesomeness. This guy named Tim McMorris. I stumbled across it. I was actually watching a business video yesterday on some technology that I'm using for my day job, and they had like this rock and music going out as they're doing like this software demo, which was a little cognitive dissonance for me. But at the same time, I'm like, man, that's an awesome song. So I figured out what the song was, and this dude's got like 10 songs that are just amazing, awesome, motivational, pump you up, like positive energy. Life is good. He's got a song called "Life is Beautiful." So I'm gonna put some of those links up on the Facebook page as we go along. I've got a playlist now, man. Sometimes I just jam it here in the office. So that's the first thing that I wanted to let everybody know, to like the Facebook page. And it is a cool song, isn't it, Christy? We'll wait for Matt to get back on here. But the other thing was, if you remember, a week ago we gave away a book live, and then we also had the people that were watching the recording later go ahead and text in to win the book as well. And we got quite a few texts for that. So I'm going to give away a book to those people that had watched in the week in between, if that makes sense, if y'all remember. So we're going to give away a book probably towards the end of this show, and so yeah, that'll be awesome. So it's, we wanted to give everybody a chance that hadn't been on the show live. So there we go. I don't know what you're doing down there in Florida, man. It's just not working.
Look,
There you
I
are.
keep getting kicked out, my friend.
Maybe
You know,
Spreecast is
somebody
getting
keeps
mad
booting
at
me
us.
off my own show.
Spreecast is getting mad at us because we're generating so much amazing content that they're being threatened by us.
How many hours did you figure up yesterday a video that we've done on Fuel for Success?
We are, let's see, got it right here. Over 60 hours of fresh live video content this year alone that we've generated. So that means if you sat down next Monday morning, you sat down Monday morning at 6 o'clock and you started watching all of our videos and you watched for 12 hours on Monday and you got up Tuesday and did it again, you got up Wednesday and did it again, you got up Thursday, did it again, you got up Friday and did it again. By the end of the day, Friday, you will have just gotten through all 60 hours.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So you that are behind on our episodes, good luck to you.
You got to take a week off.
Yeah, but if you're, hey, you know what, guys, catch up. Do it one day at a time. Get caught up. There's some good stuff out there. And I see the Sunshine is here. I don't know if she's able to come on video or not, if she's watching on her phone, but I wouldn't mind doing a quick interview with her. She's a entrepreneur at heart and has quite a story. So
We'll
if
go
it's
ahead and invite her.
possible, bring her on. And let's see if we can bring her on camera here.
See what we can do.
See, in the meantime, Mike, hey, it's going to be a good day today, business and entrepreneurship. Fuel for Success. Good job on the Facebook page. Thank you to all you that have liked it. Send your friends to it. Remember, guys, this is a tool that you can give out to your friends and family. Anybody that's been depressed, anybody that's overweight, anybody that's just struggling in life, needs some mojo, needs some motivation, needs some encouragement, some coaching. This is the place to go. That's why we called it Fuel for Success. I had someone tell me the other day, bro, I don't want to be successful. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I literally said that. He was like, yeah, I just want to be faithful. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You want me to shoot you straight? You want my straight up opinion of what you're saying right now? That's poverty thinking, my friend. I love you. I'm going to call you out. You saying I don't want to be successful, I just want to be faithful, that's poverty thinking. That sounds good, and that may make you look like, I'm not after success. If you're not after success, you might as well tell God to take you now, because you've insulted God. He put you on this earth to do something, not just be faithful. Look, be faithful to success. Be faithful to living a healthy life. Be faithful to getting out of debt. Be faithful to being an unbelievable husband and an unbelievable dad. Don't tell me you just want to be faithful. I almost want to plug my nose once. I just want to be faithful. Forget that, my friends. What do you mean? You want to be, that's right, Joe. God called us to prosper. You know what? God wants us to be successful. God wants us to blow it up. So don't develop those kind of mentalities, my friends, and don't hang out with those kind of people. You know what I mean? I
I know
couldn't
what you
hang
mean.
with that dude for a long period of time.
Hey, we've got
You know?
Sunshine ready. Come on. Should we bring her on?
Bring her. Bring her, then we'll bring Joe on.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Sunshine. What's going on?
I have my serious glasses on.
That's all right. That's your real name, though, is Sunshine.
Yep, that's my real name.
Well, you've been to Mission 25 3 times. And while you were there, you told us your story, which I thought was just so inspiring. It inspired me, and I told Mike, I said, we got to get her on the show to tell this story. So today's about business and entrepreneurship. You started your own business. Tell us what you did.
Well, I started my own business. Basically, it started when I was 14. I've been on my own since I was 14. I got a fake ID just so I could get a job and start working. And I got a job, and then I took my fake ID and I got an apartment. And so I've been working since I was 14. So ever since I was really young, I've always known that I was going to work for myself and, just become something and not be another statistic. So I just got a chance through with a partner of mine, and I started doing credit card processing, where we put credit card machines in businesses and we lower their rates. And she ended up like stealing everything, taking all the money, and I ended up living in my car with my kids. And I had a friend who had a fax machine. That's all I really needed was the phone and the fax. And I started faxing things from her house, calling her on my phone and asking her if she got it. And it basically started from there. And I have a little office now, and I'm working on hiring a couple people to let it grow.
You know
And all
what?
I use, all, All I use is this phone and this headset all day long.
See, this is why I do what I do right here, because I believe in this. This is a single mom here raising 2 kids. Her and her 2 kids lived in her car for how long? 3 months?
Yeah, 3, 4 months.
What was it like? How did you keep yourself encouraged and focused, and how did you get through
Um,
that?
well, I had like $100 in my savings account, and I learned about Tony Robbins. So I started listening to his CDs in my car with the kids, and they started listening to it, and they listen to it now even. And I just started motivating myself that way. That's all I really had. And I listened to those CDs, and I knew what I needed to do, and I just focused on that. And I knew one day it was going to be good for the kids and I. And I prayed about it all the time. And I put God in my business every single day. I run 7 miles a day, and that's my time to fast and pray. And I just ask God to wrap his arms around my business, and it works. It works. Without God, I would have nothing.
That's totally amazing. There's not a business person out there that doesn't do exactly what she said. You have got to feed your mind. Now, I love Tony Robbins. He's one of my favorites. He's definitely in my top 5. I've listened to every single one of his audio CDs. My son has gone through all of them as well. Please tell me we're better than Tony Robbins at Fuel for Success.
I love Tony. I love his, get disturbed about something to change. Like, he's awesome. But you guys are great.
Okay, I'll take it. I know we haven't arrived at Tony status yet, but we're getting there. Hey, let me ask
Yeah,
you
you're
this.
getting
So I love this. I love the fact that a lot of people out there make excuses. A lot of people out there letting fear hold them back. You got your kids in a Christian school, which I know is very expensive. They go to school with my son, and it's amazing to me that you're able to do this and also run a business. Tell me this. So let's say someone is watching the show that they're thinking about starting a business. What would be your
Okay.
best advice to them?
Just to have a plan of action. Write it down on paper, just step by step, exactly what you want to do. Don't overthink anything too long. I used to make that mistake. I would obsess about something like, well, what if it doesn't work? Or, just do it. You don't think about anything for more than like 5 minutes. You just have to do it, or you'll talk yourself right out of it.
It's actually a
Have a plan of how you're going to market. I've never had money to market my business, so I had to be creative, do creative marketing. I put ads on Craigslist, which is free, and I get probably 65% of my business from Craigslist. I just put ads, get set up for credit card processing, and people call me. I also walk in business to business. I give them my card. That's free. Um, I make flyers, which is really low cost because I do it myself on my printer. And, late at night when businesses are closed, I'll go put hangers on their door, like a door hanger just saying, hey, I'm a local company. Call me. I can lower your rates. I do that a lot late at night. And then the next day I'll get calls. People will call me and they'll be like, oh, I got your brochure on my door. I mean, there's so many things you could do. Don't ever think that you can't because, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
You really believe that?
Oh yeah, believe me, if I can do it, someone who's been on their own since they were 14, um, anybody can do it.
Well, but what did you have to overcome? I mean, Mike, you got questions as well. I've got a ton of questions. What did you have to overcome to get to this state of mind?
Well, I had to overcome basically how to deal with rejection, how to not be scared to cold call people. That's really hard because people hang up on you, they're mean. I had to force myself to overcome those obstacles because my situation was life or death. You know, the phone is my life supply still to this day. Like, this is how I survive. So when you have that mentality for so many years since you're a little kid, it's like you just, as you get older, every situation, you're just strong. You know that you can do it, and it just gets easier as you get older. To me now, when I pick up the phone and somebody hangs up, I laugh, and it's better for me because then I can hurry up and call somebody else real quick.
So how many
So
calls
yeah,
would you say you make a day?
on an average, I make around 300, 330. Some of those calls people are hanging up. Some of them they're calling me an idiot. uh, but for the most part, I get a lot of people who are nice, and I fax them stuff over, and we start a rapport, a relationship, and it just, I love it. I love talking to people now. I used to have a problem, but now I love it.
You know what's amazing? Mike, can we get 4 people on at one time?
Yeah, I think so.
I,
Let's give it a
I
shot.
invited Joe. I want Joe. I know Joe is going to want to ask her some questions too. I think we're just going to stay in this flow here because this is going to inspire a lot of people, Mike. This story, this has got to get out there. Here we go. Now we got Joe. Now we got a little four-way conversation going. Joe, meet Sunshine. Sunshine, meet Joe.
Great.
Joe's
Hi,
an
Joe.
explosive
Hi.
entrepreneur.
It's good
Joe,
to
I
meet
know
you
you're loving
too.
this story. I know you're loving this story. What are you getting out of it so far?
You know, Sunshine, you're reminding me of an inspirational story I saw the other day. And obviously, you're a lot more advanced than this, but just because you were 14, I have a student ministry, so I love teenagers, and I know that teenagers can change the world. And to hear about you moving out at 14 and stuff, but there's a Girl Scout who recently sold 21,000 boxes of cookies
Wow.
by going door to
What?
door
That's
and
crazy.
knocking on. It's a world record. It's unbelievable. Just Google it. And you know that kind of hustle
Wow.
and just I'm gonna get it and conquer is exactly what you're reminding me of. So what is how do you, I mean obviously you have your children to motivate you, but I mean 300 something calls a day. I mean wow. How do you motivate yourself to do that?
Well, it's not always easy, and I work by myself in this small office, so it is hard. I'm not perfect. I do get distracted easy, but I have a board behind me with like stuff that I wrote on it, positive messages like, massive action, massive change. I also have a board, a visualization board of stuff that I want like 5 years from now, 2 years from now. A lot of it has houses on it because I don't have to have a fancy car, but there's something about a house. I do have to have a good home for my kids. So I'm obsessed with houses, like on the beach, doing missionary work, having a homeless shelter one day, um, getting married on Christmas Day, that's on there, just all kinds of stuff on there. So
Christmas
I
Day.
keep myself surrounded by positive messages, and I have pictures of houses on the whole side of my wall here. So I just look at that every single call and I pray, and that's how I keep myself motivated.
That's good stuff right there, and I believe in all of that, Joe and Mike. Listen, I have to have a fancy car. So I would add that to the board. No, I'm just kidding. I
That's
don't
okay.
have to, but I definitely love a good big black truck. You know what I'm saying? But hey, listen to this, Sunshine. So, what are some mistakes that you've made in business that you've learned from? What are some? I know you said you get distracted. So how do you minimize the distractions? And what are some other mistakes you've made?
Most of my mistakes came from my cold calling. Like if somebody answers the phone and they say we're happy, we already have a machine, I'd hurry up and be like, okay, and hang up the phone. So I'd let people go too quick when I needed to keep them on the phone and say, I'm glad you have a machine, but how about, those rates? Why don't we try to see if I can lower your rates? And I've gotten massive deals like that by just hanging on and talking to them more. I used to be really scared to talk to people. So that was my main problem, was just keeping the person on the phone. um, Also, I think a lot of sales reps make a mistake by sounding too robotic on the phone, like a robot, like they're reading a script. I think you should just loosen up and talk to the person like you've known them for years, you know? And then sometimes your own personality will get you a sale over your product. It's amazing, but it does happen.
That's cool right there. So, Joe and Mike, you guys got a question? Before you both ask her a question, I'd like to hear your take on cold calling. I told Caleb the other day, just for fun and to do some more networking and just to see how quick we could do it, I ordered 100 of my juicing books, and we're going to see if we can sell 100 copies in one day going door to door. Just because, it keeps you fresh. Cold calling, to me, it's not the best. It's not the best. But at the same time, it does work. There is such a thing as the law of numbers. So give me your guys' take on cold calling, what you've heard about it, what you've experienced it. What kind of strategies would you give someone whose business survived on cold calling? What would you say, Mike? And then we'll go to Joe or whoever wants to take it first. I wish I had a sponsor. I like the four-way chat. We're going to do more of these here.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Like,
I feel like we're on the Brady Bunch, but you gotta look down. Hey, sunshine. Okay.
Sorry.
Here's what I'm. One thing that I'd say about cold calling and really leveraging on what Sunshine had said about it, and something I picked up on what she was saying, and I know from talking to you, Sunshine, that you believe in the product that you have, and you know that you can save people money, and so one of the important things, and from my experience, whether it's business or even like picking up and like last year before Easter, we did cold call for all our past guests from church, right? And the more you believe in the product that you're talking about, the easier it becomes, and the easier it is to be natural, and the more you know about it. So I would say if your business depends on cold calling, then you probably want to know as much about your product as you can, or your services or whatever, and then also really believe in it and educate yourself about it and figure out how it can be beneficial to people, because that energy and that positive it flows. People can hear that in your voice. So that would be what I would say.
Whoa, baby. Hey, Joe, what about you? What's your take on it?
All right, Sunshine, here's the deal. My take on it's going to be a little bit, I do cold calling for my business too, but the people that I'm calling on are like multi-millionaire apartment owners to see if they want to sell their property. And it works really well. The thing about that particular thing is one customer, the profit is probably a minimum of $20,000 for every customer I get. Could be as much as $1 million in profit. So, and nobody else in my industry is doing that, because most of the people in that industry are wealthy. And so it's a way for me to do what I call scrap the model, do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, and I get all the attention. So it works really well that way. In your industry, just hearing you talk, my opinion is that you're bigger than your industry already. You're already stronger than your industry. And so using cold calling right now is kind of the way that most of the people in that industry do it. And if I were you, I would do one of two things. I would either start looking for something that you can sell that you get more profit for every time you make a sale, because you've gotten the sales skills from this job. And it's like just heavy, dig it out work. But you have the ability to sell things that you're going to make a couple $1,000s in profit per sale on, versus $500 or $600, which I'm guessing is probably about the average for a commission for a credit card machine or something like that. Unless you own your own company and you get like passive income for the rest of your life for everyone you sell. I'm just telling you, you've got it, girl. I mean, you've got the gifts. You can take it to the next level and start selling something that's more. Secondly, even if you don't decide to do that, one thing that I would recommend is I love how you're hustling and doing all the stuff with sales. You'll find a lot of stories of very successful entrepreneurs who started there, but then once they learned marketing, they could actually spend less money doing marketing and get more sales. For example, I don't know if Facebook ads would work for yours. I'm doing a lot of work on Facebook right now, but the only people who click on a Facebook ad are people who are really interested in reducing their rates for a credit card machine, right? And you could particularly target business owners who are in retail using the Facebook ad machine to do that. So, and the cost is normally 30 cents to $1. So I know if you put out 10 flyers, you're not getting 10 responses. You probably put out 100 flyers and get 2 or 3 responses, right? Well, in that same amount of time, you could put it out on Facebook and put out 1,000 flyers, quote unquote, in their news feeds, get 3 responses, and it would only cost you $3.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
a great idea, actually. I've never thought of that.
That is a great idea. And Mike and I had a long talk about that very same thing yesterday, Joe, how we think churches are wasting money I had a pastor the other day that told me that he did a 10,000 full color postcard. He was all pumped about it. I was like, how much did you spend on that? It was a big mail out. He's like, oh, $6,000. I was like, oh my God.
he won't get 6 people. He won't get 6 people to come.
Right.
What?
He won't get 6 people. It's not that direct mail doesn't work. It can work, but it's very finicky. I mean, one word can change it all. But the thing is I know pastors, and Mike, I think I've told you about this, who are using Google AdWords. The only people who click on a Google AdWord to check out a church is somebody who's looking for a church in that area. That's that whole target audience thing, right? And so he's using that. He's getting over 100 visitors a month from Google AdWords, not his church going out and inviting people. And he's retaining a ridiculous amount, percentage of those people who come. So yeah, we're behind the times in that.
That guy really would to pick his brain, like to bring him on the show. So connect me with him, Joe. We're down to about 4 minutes. Let's Sunshine. So, very motivational story. That's amazing. You've done well. You've done amazing, actually. So tell us this. What's your best advice, Sunshine, from what you've learned just in starting a business? If someone wants to, obviously you doing what you love and you're good at it, but what's your overall best advice for someone out there that's thinking about starting a business or going into business for themselves?
The best advice I could give is just to, like I said before, just, write out a massive plan. Don't think too long about it. Surround yourself with people who are going to support you and encourage you. I didn't have anybody like that, so in the beginning I had a lot of doubt. I didn't know if I could do it. um, find other successful people on social media. There's a lot of other ways. There's a website called Meetup, and there's groups of entrepreneurs or people who have ideas that come together. Go to some of those groups and talk to other people that could give you advice, and then just do it. Like I said, don't think too long, because it's so easy to talk yourself out of something. And just like I said, surround yourself around other people. And that's something I'm still looking to do, because I do work by myself. I constantly want to stay motivated, so I'm always looking to meet new people that are doing the same thing that I am.
Well, it's amazing, and that's true. And YouTube is a great resource for that. I tell everybody, if you're not watching YouTube on a daily basis, you're missing an opportunity of a lifetime. Mike and Joe, 30 seconds each on what you learned from Sunshine's story and how we can apply it to our lives.
Hey, 30 seconds. There was too much. 30 seconds. Are you kidding me? I really think that I'm inspired by. What's that?
I love you. I'm just picking at you.
Mike, he said you gotta stop smoking.
Is that what he said?
He's got to make 300 calls to stop smoking, man. We're gonna find you the right place, man.
Wow. Okay, so
I mess with him on that all the time. Go ahead. I called Carol out for her drinking in church one time. I was like, case in point, like, look at Carol. She's starting to overcome her drinking habit. It was funny though. She was
Mike,
like,
I texted Mike last night about it. Told him I was praying for him.
yeah, I saw that, Joe.
Well, I love Mike. Go ahead. Me and Joe are totally just throwing you under here. But Christy says, as a single mom, thanks for inspiring me and motivating me to be successful. So you did your job well today, Sunshine.
Awesome.
Mike, what do you think from this, man?
Hey, you know what? There's no substitute for hard work and hustle, and there's literally no substitute for it. I was personally up till almost 4 o'clock this morning working on a project that I have to have done today for my job, my business, not really my job. And you think that you'll like arrive or something, but it takes work. It just takes work. There's no substitute for work, and it's inspiring. 300 calls a day. I mean, that's amazing.
Inspiring. What about you, Joe? Get
Yeah,
out of
that's my
today and
takeaway. I mean, Sunshine, I think you inspired us all to hustle. Just hustle. Like
Yeah, thanks.
that is that alone can get results. I mean, I listening to Sunshine, I think I overthink it sometimes. I'm very much a strategist and trying to, you know, get it just right and get the systems all right and stuff like that. But sometimes just, you know, it's like a fighter. You know, you got the fighters who are great strategists and technicians, and some guys just go in there and they just overpower, and it doesn't matter your strategy. And that's the kind of hustle you brought to the game. And great job. I'm inspired.
Thank you.
absolutely. You know what
Thank
I
you
did?
very much,
We're going to spend
guys.
5 minutes over today on the show for anyone that's got questions, because you guys got an opportunity here. You're sitting with 4 entrepreneurs, and there should be more questions coming in. So listen, what I get out of this, real quick, I love the part of don't overthink it. And talking yourself out of it is what all of us do when it comes to exercise, when it comes to asking a girl on a date, when it comes to starting a business, making a sales call. We got all that negative self-talk. You know what else I love? She immersed her brain in motivational stuff, positive message, positive visual pictures. All of those things are very important. And at the end of the day, my friend, when you're sleeping in your car and you've got 2 kids to feed, I don't know if you need any motivation after that. You know what I'm saying? So this also goes to show you that anybody can make it. If you're willing to sweat, you're willing to hustle, and you're willing to put in the time, you can do it. So that's what I gleaned from it. And also just staying with it, sticking with it, you know. And then she pushed past her fears and she made mistakes and she learned from it. And even what you gave her today, Joe, is gold, in my opinion. Using the Facebook ads is gold. So we got a quick question here from Christy. Sunshine, what made you decide to do this in particular?
Hey, Christy. I just fell into it before I started doing this. I had like 20 different telemarketing jobs. I was selling magazines. I was selling vacuums. I was selling anything you can think of. I've sold it. I literally had to go into houses with these knives, and I had to like show them how great these knives were, and I had to cut a penny, and like I've done some ridiculous things. But I just seen an ad in the paper for a guy that had a company doing credit card processing, and he hired me, and that's where I started, and I learned. He transferred me to tech support, sales. I learned every different department, and after I got treated poorly and didn't get paid for what I was doing, I left, and I just remembered everything that I had learned from every department and thought to myself, why can't I do it myself? Why can't I do what he's been doing? I've basically been doing it for him. So I left, and that's how basically it all started.
You know something that stuck out to me is Sunshine got burnt by a best friend and a business partner, lost a lot of money, and ended up becoming homeless, right? This is what I always tell entrepreneurs. There's always the other side of the story. Joe, Mike, and I, all three right now, could tell you horror stories from business risk that we've taken. The scars, the loss, the bankruptcy, the repos. Look, the homelessness. Hear me? The house catching on fire. You name it. That's part of the path. That really is the path. Look at what Steve Jobs went through. Have you ever really studied what Walt Disney went through? I mean, if you ever second guess whether you should go into business, read Walt Disney's biographies. That man went through so much to bring Disney to what it is today. It's part of the path. It's like, I don't know if I've ever met a very highly successful businessman, Donald Trump, who, who hasn't gone broke, who hasn't lost everything, had to sell his washer and dryer to pay his payroll or sell his couch. Look, the most successful barber shop in the world is New York. I forget the exact name of it, but I visited New York this year. And I met the owner, Joe. And for them to survive and go to the next level, his wife had to sell her wedding ring, which was like an unbelievably expensive wedding ring. Mm-hmm. And, these kind of things, when you're in business, that's just part of the path. And I don't know why that is, but it's been that way for almost everyone I've met. I've met multimillionaires that were broke, that were about to lose everything, that literally lost houses in the process. Look at the girl in Savannah, Georgia, the big cook. What's her name?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're.
Help me out there. The girl in Savannah, the lady in Savannah, Lady and Sons. What's her name?
Paula Dean.
Paula Dean. Listen, she had 3 houses foreclosed on her when she was building her house, her business. She had cars repoed. Hear me? Wasn't that she couldn't manage her money. It's just that when you go for high success, you literally throw everything you have and you take big risk. Sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't. And that's part of the path. But the key that she taught was persistence. Look at what Martha Stewart went through. If you ever study these stories, the list could go on and on of high success people that have had setbacks. So, do we have any other questions for Sunshine, Joe, or Mike before we go? Anybody out there? Listen, this is one last thing I want to say. When you get on Fuel for Success, it's not just us talking. It's you being able to ask questions and grow and learn, anything that on the subjects that we have. Listen, I told my son, I'm going to leave you with this. I told my son, Mike, he plays on a baseball team for Miguel Cairo, who played in the major leagues for 14 years, a professional baseball player. I said, Caleb, you got the opportunity of a lifetime. You get to be around a professional baseball player 3 times a week. I said, don't ever be in his presence without having at least one question to ask. And I sat down with him and I said, I want you to make a list of all the questions you could ask him. And he came up with over 23 questions. And I said, every time you're in his presence, you ask him questions. Every time. Because that's the only way you're going to grow and learn. And all of you out there need to do the same thing in business. Anytime you ever meet a business owner or somebody that's extremely successful in sales, listen, ask questions. Pick their brain. Right, guys?
Absolutely.
Right.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, Sunshine, for being on the show. Joe, for joining us today. And don't forget that tomorrow we'll have family and relationships. It's been an awesome Thursday show.
Yes. Very
Fantastic.
good. Very, very inspiring. Mike, happy anniversary. Take the day off. Joe, we love you down below. We'll see you next week. Thanks for all your help on Mission 25. Mike, before you get into all the festivities, maybe me, you, and Joe could 3-way real quick.
Sure.
I hear you. Sunshine, awesome stuff. Very inspiring. Connect with her on Facebook. What's your name on Facebook? Sunshine High?
Just Sunshine High.
So write that in there, Mike, if you don't mind. Connect with her on Facebook. And a lot of you have already met her at Mission 25. Sunshine, can you just give one last inspiration to anybody out there that's making excuses about why they haven't come to a Mission 25 yet?
There is no excuse. Go and it'll change your life. It's changed my kids' lives. There's just no excuse. I've been to 3 and I'll be to all the ones this summer. So I'm looking forward to that. Just go and be a blessing to others and you will be blessed as well.
One last thing to say. Christy, you and Seth better be in St. Louis or we're going to be having some serious issues. All right? We love you guys. Miss y'all. Thank you guys. Mike, love you. Joe, love you. Sunshine, awesome stuff.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.